Hi YouTube world, hi YouTube subscribers. I wanted to make a video today talking about something that's in the news a ton, and I think that is so important right now, and that is the Me Too movement. And I'm going to give you guys 5 reasons why I think the Me Too movement is still so important, and also what I have kind of an issue with, and I'll get to that at the end. But the number one reason why I think the Me Too movement is so important and why it needs to keep going is because there are so many victims out there, and they need to realize that they're not alone. So I did not want to share this, but I am going to share this because I feel like it's so important, and I feel like I need to, for the victims out there, for subscribers. I feel like I owe it to people, especially other victims out there, to let them know that they're not alone. 1 in 6 women, or 1 in 5, they say statistically, is raped in America over the course of their lifetime. And unfortunately, I do fall into that statistic. And actually, I think that statistic is underreported. And there are a lot of men as well who are raped. It's not just women. So I was raped as a young woman, and I have also been sexually assaulted as a young woman at another time. But anyway, I wanted to share my story to let you guys know, if you're a victim, that I am a survivor. You can make it out and be okay with time and with healing. And you're not alone, and we need to end the shame of victims coming forward with stories of sexual assault, stories of molestation, of rape. We need to continue to share stories, and stories about sexual harassment that we're hearing about with the Me Too movement as well. Sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, it is prevalent everywhere. So this is my second reason why I feel like the Me Too movement is so important, is because we need to realize this isn't just a Hollywood problem. This affects every workplace industry. It affects the army, it affects the tech world, it affects the medical field, sales, whatever work industry you're in. And that's why there's sexual harassment videos, but I don't feel like that is enough, because even though there are those videos and they've been out, for years and years, it's still very prevalent. I remember in college, I was a server at a restaurant, and there was a dishwasher there who sexually harassed all the female servers at my job. And he did that by giving us all a nickname that was derogatory, something to do with our bodies, and would call us by that. He also made rude comments and gestures. He just harassed us. And I told other servers about it, and the reason why I didn't go to a manager about it is because they told me that they had reported it before to a female manager, thinking she would do something about it, our female manager at the time, and said she didn't do anything. I think, looking back, the reason why she didn't do anything was because she, I think, maybe had trouble finding a dishwasher, and I feel like mostly she just felt bad for him because he had a lot of personal issues. But regardless, that shouldn't be tolerated in the workplace. If several people are coming forward accusing someone of harassment, there should be some sort of investigation. That person should be put on probation if it's found to be true, and then, given a warning and then fired. My last job, I did have a really good female manager on the opposite end, and she called it out right away. I had a coworker who was going to inappropriate sites for God knows what reason at work, and she saw it, immediately said, "No, don't do that. We're not going to tolerate that," and that ended it. And that's how it should be. I feel like we need more of that. We need to stick by each other, especially as females. And managers, if you see that there should be in your workplace a system in place that you can confront somebody if you see it, or if you're getting accusations, you can investigate it, put them on a warning, and then fire them. For me, myself, I don't really care to see another sexual harassment video that's really cheesy. What I want to see, and probably what a lot of other people want to see, is just more action. We all, I feel like, for the most part, know what sexual harassment is. Maybe we don't. Maybe we still need to have those videos in place, of course, but I feel like what we're really missing still is sometimes the action behind HR or our managers doing something, and then us feeling helpless because we need the job, so we just go along with it. Like at that restaurant I worked at, we all kind of just made fun of him, as I guess how we dealt with it. We had a weird sense of humor about it, but it just created a hostile environment, and overall it would have been better if they would have just disciplined him and maybe fired him if he kept doing it. Anyway, okay, so that's my second reason. And my third reason why the Me Too movement is so important is because this doesn't just happen to females or a certain group of females. This happens to everyone. This happens to males, females, black people, white people, older people, younger people. It happens to everybody. The sexual abuse and harassment. We're starting to hear more about it in the news, in Hollywood, like some Hollywood actors are coming forward saying, "Hey, I'm a male and this happened to me as well." Even, unfortunately, one of Harvey Weinstein accusers, she's now being accused as well of doing inappropriate actions. So I think that just goes to show that this doesn't just happen to females, it can happen to anyone. And sorry, that bright light. Okay. And I think that we need to be aware of that, and we need to stop shaming men when they come forward. I hate when I see like a news story about sorry, I'm just readjusting here. I hate when I see a news story about a young man who was raped or assaulted by their teacher, and people are making like a joke about it, because that you wouldn't be joking if that happened to a female, and like it's just disgusting and it's wrong. And I hope that more men in the future will feel comfortable coming forward, and that we will start taking it just as serious when a man comes forward, and stop shaming male victims, I mean. And then my fourth reason why I think the Me Too movement is so important is because we're still seeing problems with institutions and how they're disciplining or taking actions against predators or pedophiles or people who continually do things like this. We're seeing, like, I'm Catholic, so I'm seeing with the Catholic Church how there was problems in the past of the Catholic Church taking on pedophiles who were priests. And instead of sticking up for the victims, they were protecting these predators, and doing that because they wanted to save the institution, protect the institution. And I feel like that is just completely wrong, ethically, morally, and it destroys victims' lives is what it does. And I've seen it in my own case, but it's not just the Catholic Church, it's other institutions, it's colleges, it's other religious institutions, it's done in the army. There's lots of cover-ups, and we're starting to see more and more of it coming out, and there needs to be set in place where outside police force can come in and do their own investigation. There needs to be more investigations, more counsels, and institutions need to protect victims better. And I hope we see more of that with the MeToo movement, and us just putting shame on those institutions who are shaming victims. Okay, and then yeah, that's something I struggle with because I'm Catholic, but I don't like how the Catholic Church has handled the sex scandal that has occurred, and made it a million times worse for the victims with how they handled it. But I think they're starting to make change, and I think a lot of that has to do with the Me Too movement and people saying, you know, we're not going to take this anymore, we're tired of it. And my fifth reason why the Me Too movement is important, and this might be controversial, this is what I was getting at earlier, why I feel like the Me Too movement starts to lose people, is because I think this issue is a lot bigger than what we're starting to just uncover now. And there's a lot more gray than gray areas. I think it's less black and white, this issue of sexual abuse and sexual assaults. And like, for instance, in the case of Louis C.K., is his whole career ruined now because of what happened in the past? I'm just using him as an example, like somebody who's I'm trying to use an example of somebody that isn't that has said, has apologized, that has made change. Do we just still consider them like their whole career is over now and we can never forgive them again if somebody in the past has done wrong things and is apologizing and is taking ownership? Like, that is one thing that I hope will change in the future with the Me Too movement, is that we don't just automatically lump everybody who comes forward saying, you know what, I did something wrong, as, oh, they're a monster and we can never, like, hear from them again. I feel like we all need to, as a society, kind of look at each other and look at ourselves and say, did I ever do anything that was inappropriate? Did I take advantage of somebody? Did I make somebody feel uncomfortable? Did I hurt somebody's feelings? Have I made somebody feel like an object? And I feel like we need to be more comfortable having those open discussions so we can come to resolutions instead of just it's black or white, because I feel like we're never going to get anywhere if we don't really dig into this issue and we don't feel, and until we feel more comfortable coming forward with, I did do something wrong, and admitting that, and not feeling like there's going to be so much backlash that people are not coming forward and we're not discussing important things and we're not realizing how we can do things better in the future. So I think that's important as well. And I hope you understand what I'm saying, because I'm not saying like those serial predators should just be forgiven or there shouldn't be criminal actions in a lot of these cases. But I'm just saying that that we need to have more of a discussion about everything, and on both sides, especially victims should be able to come forward and not be shamed. But also we need to look at more of all the issues that are involved, and how we can treat each other better overall. Okay, so that's my take on things. If you have a story you'd like to share, please leave comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please don't forget to subscribe. Okay, till next time, bye guys.